let's get to some bad stuff that we have to talk about because we are still a podcast that covers the wrestling industry. On top of giving you our picks of the week, this actually happened mere hours after we signed off from the live stream nung Thursday night. So, medyo usap-usapan na to. Meron ng rumblings, but then it actually happened. There was a bunch of WWE releases that happened this week. It was ang nauna doon actually were the layoffs, diba, from the corporate side, which we touched on nung live stream. But now actual wrestlers got released Thursday evening Manila time, so that's Thursday morning US time. I can go through the list right now. The biggest name here is Matt Riddle, arguably, maybe Dolph Ziggler. So those two were the biggest names that were part of that batch of releases. Shelton Benjamin, Elias, Mustafa Ali, who actually has an active TV storyline, was also released. Pero meron ding reports na lumabas na even months before, he was already trying to get out of his WWE contract. Si Emma, who had just tweeted na it was a dream show for her, diba, to be performing at Elimination Chamber in Perth. And then wala pang 20 minutes after she tweeted that, she got the call that she was released. So she tweeted like 19 minutes later, all right, never mind. So she's no longer with WWE. Riddick Moss also gone. Aaliyah, Top Dollar, Rick Boogs, Masay and Mansois, Dana Brooke, and then from the NXT side, Dabakero, Shanky, Ike Menjiro, Yulisa Leon, Quincy Elliott, Bryson Montana, Kevin Ventura Cortez, Daniel MacArthur, Alexis Gray, Brooklyn Barlow, and Abule Abadi Fitzgerald. So a lot of those last few names, mga developmental talent pa lang talaga. Like, I don't think we've even seen them on NXT TV. Maybe they've had like a match or two sa NXT house show circuit or sa Level Up. But that's the list. Mga 20 rin yung pangalan na ni-release from WWE. And obviously, because of the nature of my work with them, I won't really say anything other than reporting what happened over the weekend. So, ikaw, Ro, what are your thoughts on this?
Lucky for you, I don't have anything heated or angry to say about all of this because I think they're different from the pandemic releases that we were so used to. Nung kalagitnaan nung lockdown, diba? We were all home, and first, like I said in the Discord while that was happening, and while Rowan was live tweeting all of this for the patrons, there wasn't any need to lose sleep over a lot of these guys. So nung night na yun, the biggest name who got released was Ali. And
and Dolph.
And Dolph, right, and Dolph. Pero, Dolph I would lump in with the others, with the other names na these guys, I don't mean to sound utilitarian here, but these guys are really not being used. They were there to, fill the depth chart ng WWE, ng Raw and SmackDown. And I would normally, not be so flippant about someone losing their jobs, especially in the wrestling industry. Pero things are different in 2023. And we all knew that there was a rotation there present on the main roster and in NXT na rin, just so that Triple H has options whenever he needs to book something or book shows about. And if you get rid of I don't say this in a bad way or in a basta, I don't mean this terribly, but when you get rid of the bench warmers, then there's really no one to miss. Diba? Yeah, you can say that Dolph Ziggler was a former world champion, Shelton Benjamin was a former intercontinental champion, but when was the last time you saw them on TV, diba? And at this point, did you really miss them until they were fired, they were released, diba? So I kind of found it a little funny that people were like, oh, Top Dollar, Top Dollar's gone, or Emma's gone. But wala, yun talaga eh. I would be more angry about it if somebody like Ali was released, meaning to say somebody was being featured, somebody who was actually in a story that was, kind of a big deal. If more of those were released like they were back in the pandemic, then that's where I would, be all up in arms. But ito talaga, I know what it's like to sit on my hands and wait for an assignment that isn't coming and then getting let go because that was my status at work. So ganun talaga. That's the way the corporate life is, honestly, as someone who has observed this business for a decades na rin, to me, this is like you're gonna be way more fulfilled doing stuff outside of wrestling, outside of WWE rather, outside of WWE than you were when you were sitting on your hands and waiting for TV time that may or may not have come when back in the company. Diba? So if you're all about actually doing the wrestling, then this is it. This is your moment. Like Matt Cardona, he said to the people who got released, "This is the beginning of a new career. You don't have to make it be the end of your career." Uh, I think some people like to say that because WWE is all they watch. Alam mo yun? So when they see that someone's not in WWE anymore, they tend to not follow them the way we do.
Yeah.
Kasi, alam mo yun, maraming papanoorin. But, I saw a really nice Matt Cardona versus Tyler Breeze match from a few weeks ago in Prestige Wrestling, one of the home bases ni Kid Bandit. And that kind of stuff proves that there is life. And as wrestling fans, if you are as dedicated to these people, to some of these people as you say you are, then you will go out and seek these new places that your favorites kuno are going to, right? Diba? Parang it's not fair then for you to be a wrestling fan and to not follow these wrestlers that you liked diba? Going elsewhere. That's why I find it so weird that people will say people I find it so weird that people will discount a place like AEW or NJPW because it's not WWE. But you're fans of these wrestlers. Why wouldn't you watch where they're going? Diba?
Mm.
Parang if you're a CM Punk fan, I mean, I think CM Punk fans, for all the toxicity they give, they are at least great examples of this now. Because CM Punk appeared elsewhere, they went to the other place, or at least they watched the other place. They gave it a chance. I would hope the same for Bryan Danielson fans like myself, but some of you I know are still dismissive of AEW. So yun, it's really nothing to lose sleep over. Really, it's not 2020 or 2021 where walang ibang bukas sa tindahan except for AEW and WWE and sometimes ROH to a certain extent. So that's why I'm not sad. Like, it's only really sad if you don't watch anything else,
Yeah.
like, sorry, before I mean, these people will never fall off my radar unless they deliberately fall off the radar.
Mm. I think to add to that lang, it's always sad to hear that somebody lost their job,
Yeah,
regardless of
yeah.
who it is and whatever their position
Oh
is at
naman.
whatever company. But
Mm.
as Ro just mentioned, the wrestling landscape is so different in 2023, and it's thriving, it's alive again, diba? For I would say 95% of these wrestlers, they will be able to keep making bank off of the name that they established while they were in WWE. In fact, I guess the best example one can point to is Steph Delander, FK
Mm.
Persha Pirota, who never made it to the main roster, and yet she was able to find her gimmick alongside Matt Cardona, and they've become like the new king and queen of the indies, where she's actually making a killing, diba? So, I'm not saying that all of these wrestlers who just got released will be the next Matt Cardona and Steph Delander, but the path is there. And if the path isn't there, then as Matt Cardona obviously showed us 3 years ago, you can create that path for yourself. And that's why I'm optimistic for a lot of these wrestlers na they'll be able to bounce back kasi they didn't get to WWE because of pure dumb luck or whatever. There must have been something there that led them to WWE, and I'm sure that same raw talent or that skill or whatever it is
Yeah.
will help
Mm.
propel them somewhere else.
Ang sa akin lang naman is if you feel despair now because these guys got let go, then follow them. Follow wherever they go, diba? If you support them, then make their new home a nice place for them to be in by watching it and supporting it. Diba?